Beach FM, locals talking to locals.
In the studio, I have two austere gentlemen. One is Roger Booth, who's written a book along with the wonderful Sir John Trimmer. And I'd like to say good morning to you both, gentlemen.
Good morning.
Welcome in there. You left Paikakariki when, John? Yesterday?
Seems like it.
Good on you. And danced all the way up the coast, did you?
Of course.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah,
you're looking well.
Thank you.
Yeah, good.
Thank you.
Yes, with the dapper beret on. It wouldn't be Sir John without that beret, would it?
Well, I nearly wore an ordinary cap today, and then I thought, no, beret better be.
Right. And we say good morning to Roger.
Good morning.
You're the man who's put this book together.
Yes.
Yeah. Two of us, and and that's been a long haul.
Yeah. But it's been well worth it because I've read parts of this book. It's absolutely fascinating. I was just saying this morning in a preview of the program that even if you're not into, say, ballet, this book is more inspirational than that because it gives you the background of how you got into it and what it's done to your life and who you've been with.
Yes.
And then I got to the awards, 2 pages. I thought I was look at one. There's 2 pages of awards there. Goodness gracious me. So, John, just tell us, did you ever expect a book to be written about your life?
No, although for some funny reason I had scribbled down all sorts of things over the years.
Right.
Yeah. But just for fun, really.
Right.
Yeah.
But that fun has turned into something more serious and enjoyable, hasn't it?
It has,
yeah.
Greatly.
Now you've got the book written. How do you feel about it?
Well, I've read it a couple of times.
Great.
And I have enjoyed it.
Yes. Brought back memories?
Oh, yes.
Because, I mean, your lifestyle has been so busy, and you most probably forgotten some of this information until you got the photos out.
That's right. Yeah, the photos help.
Yeah.
They're good photos too, aren't they?
Oh, well, I couldn't recognise you in the early ones. No, you look dapper all the way through.
That's quite right.
Yeah. Now, the title, Why Dance? Whose idea was that? Was yours, Roger, or Sir John's?
Well, getting a title for a book is actually quite tricky.
Yes.
And, I guess sometimes something jumps out and you get it in the first place. But we went through a lot of options, didn't we?
Oh, yes.
And we had our reasons for the different options we looked at. But in the end, I think, John, you really realised that it was definitely the right one.
Yes, that's right. I think it is because the book, I think, explains that.
Yes.
It does.
Well, it raises the question, why dance?
Yeah.
And that what sort of brings you into the book itself. You start thinking, why dance? And you
Especially a male early on.
That's what I was going to just say. You brought it out. If boys feel as though dancing is their field, well, go for it.
Exactly.
And I think you've got that in the book here, haven't you?
Good. Yeah, I have.
Yes.
Yeah, that's right.
I picked that up. So when did you first start dancing? Just to give us a bit of background.
Well, I'm one of 6 children.
Right.
And 3 girls, 3 boys, and we all danced around as kids. And Mum and Dad did as well in the living room.
Right.
So that was really it. But I started taking serious lessons when I was about 12.
Okay.
12, 13.
So way back in that time, did your family think that was a bit odd that you wanted to go dancing, or were they right into it?
They were right into it. Mum danced in musicals in Wellington in the 1920s.
Yes.
And Dad played the violin when he wasn't in the shearing sheds. And my older sister, about 15 years older than me, she danced in musicals touring the country.
Right.
Tell them about your grandfather, John.
Oh, I'm a Grandad Trimmer. I keep forgetting about poor old Grandad. He was a wool classer around the wool sheds and things in the lower North Island. And in his free time, he taught tap dancing.
Ah, right. Yes, as he's dancing down the woolshed floors.
That's it.
Yes, yeah. Fantastic.
Great noise.
Yeah. So it brought the best out of him. Now, just going into the preface here, a wonderful painting, a portrait by Elspeth, I should say, Shannon from Paikakariki. That's a dead replica of it, isn't it?
It's great, isn't it? I think
proud
it's
of that one for a start off.
fantastic. Yeah.
I'd have a wallpaper of that around my house.
Perhaps that's an idea. I haven't got the painting itself.
Yes.
I guess someone else has.
Right, Roger. How long has it taken you to put this together and get the information out of Sir John?
Yeah, well, that's an interesting trail. I worked for the New Zealand Qualifications Authority for 10 years, and I was in the team that set up the National Qualifications Framework, and I was facilitator. I put together and was responsible and whiteboarded for about 120 different subjects, and that included visual and performing arts. And so that was drama, dance, music, Maori performing arts. I did all those. And we had the opportunity to have national panels, and they were the people like in dance who really represented New Zealand across the board in dance who were the best people to do that. John wasn't on the original panel, but he was on a working group, and that's when I first met him. And we were talking about, how do you dance?
Yes.
Because that's what unit standards and things are all about. So the first conversation I had with John, I can remember I had a conversation with him way back then about visualisation.
Yeah.
And we talk about visualisation in the book. And that's where it started. And so at that stage I'd written Bruno Lawrence's biography after a few years in NZQA.
That was a big seller too, wasn't it?
Yeah, and that happened in 2000.
Yes.
I then thought, well, maybe I'll write something else. And because I was working with all those people, I chose to write about a group of 6 people and talk about surviving in the arts. That was Malvina Major, John Trimmer, Ian Mune, Dick Frizzell, Ray Wolfe. So I interviewed all those people. I started putting the book together, and then because I'm always involved in too many things, I just ran out of time and ran out of space to do it. And at that point, I'd been up here and starting to be involved in local body, had more to do with John. And John was 50 years in New Zealand Ballet. And I said, look, there has to be a book on you, John. So that was when I came, John, wasn't it?
Yep, that's right.
50 years.
50 years. It's
Goodness.
More than that now.
It is indeed, because you're still going, to be fair, aren't
65,
you?
yes. So it was a long time ago.
Because I think there's a birthday coming up this week, isn't there, in your life?
No, September.
September, is it?
Yes,
September.
September.
Oh, it's not far away.
Not far away,
No.
yes.
But
I wish it was 65.
Yes, but you're going to be, 78?
79.
79,
will
and
be,
still
yes.
dancing.
Well,
and this is
performing.
what a lot of people don't realise, how you've managed to last for so long. I mean, it's an amazing job. Ballet is so tough on your body.
It's very heavy, yeah. As we mention in the book, I've been very lucky. I haven't had many injuries, but I have one at the moment that is playing up a bit,
Yes.
an old one.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty good.
Right. When you look at how often that rugby players get injured, they do all their preparation like John did,
Yes.
and they get injured all the time.
Yeah.
It is absolutely bizarre that John did not actually pick up the drastic injuries that usually mean that a dancer finishes in their late 20s or 30s. John just kept going, actually doing physical dance until 50s.
In my 50s, yes.
Yeah, that's right. I was reading just a little bit there, and you might be able to explain it, where you were throwing a ballet dancer up into the air and she landed on the wrong side, and you were wondering how you're going to catch her. Could you just explain that to the listeners? Because it's in your book.
It is, yeah.
Really significant person.
Yes, it was a very leading lady of the time. Lifted her up. There should have been 2 of us, one on either side.
Right.
I grabbed an armpit and a hip and heaved up in the air, and she flew up like a feather, and I could see right through to the other side of the stage below her. The other guy wasn't there.
No.
I thought, what the hell am I going to do now?
Yes.
And she fell, but I caught her before she hit the ground.
Okay, but not the right way up.
Not the right way up, no.
And the audience didn't realise that, I don't suppose.
No, they didn't.
No.
They did not realise it.
And her reaction
Her
when
reaction,
you went out the back?
her reaction still on stage, I thought was good.
Yes.
Of course, I staggered up stage with her to where we go next, and she's waving her arms very graciously and saying, "Turn me over, darling, turn me over." And all I could do was say, I can't.
Right.
And who was it, John?
Margot Fontaine,
Ah.
at the time, very, very brilliant lady.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Because you've Rudolf Nureyev. Did you enjoy performing with him?
Great performer, brilliant performer, but very temperamental.
Yes.
You'll see it in the book.
Right. Yes, that's right. We're not going to give too much away.
No.
But I'm just touching on 1 or 2.
Yeah.
But Dame Margot Fontaine, you must have enjoyed working with her.
She was great fun. And after that particular show, we all sat down and laughed like mad about it.
Yes.
Because the audience didn't notice, and neither did the company hierarchy who were out front watching.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, we've got to mention your wife, Lady
Oh,
Maggie.
yes, Jackie.
She was involved. You're actually dancing with her.
Yes.
I didn't realise that till I was looking at that in the book.
Yeah,
Fantastic.
often. Yeah.
So, how many years was that?
Jackie retired after 36 years.
Goodness.
with the company, off and on, So
wow. So it's all in the book here, and the book is going to be launched on Wednesday, tomorrow night in Wellington, is it?
Yes, there are 3 launchings.
Yes.
Because there are kind of 3 audiences that all kind of want to be involved in this sort of thing. There's one in Wellington, a lot of dance people involved in Wellington. That's at the New Zealand School of Dance.
Be a big crowd there.
Wednesday at 5 o'clock.
Yes.
Yeah, and we've already got, it was by RSVP, and we've already got indications that there'll be 100 people there.
Goodness.
They're trying to work out how they're going to fit them, and whether we've got to find another place at the New Zealand School of Dance. But that's really cool. The second one is on Friday, and that's at Kabadi College.
In the library?
In the canteen.
Oh, canteen, is it? Yep.
Which is a good, nice sort of place, and they've got the Grease production on in their hall at the moment.
Yes.
But the one there is at 5 o'clock.
Yes.
And on Sunday, and the easiest one for people maybe to come to is out at St Peter's Hall on Sunday. We'll be there between 10 and 4 with the books and speeches at 2 o'clock. By all means, if anyone want to come out, come and see us.
Good. How many books have you published? Because you might need every one of them by the sounds of this.
the number of books, we've already printed 500 or so in the very first lot, but we're pretty much heading into more books. Yeah,
I would say so. I would say about 130 is going to go on Wednesday night, tomorrow night, and goodness, it's such a delightful book too. It's lovely colour. So you're proud of what you produced?
And I think we can be very proud of Spectro.
Ah, right.
Because basically this is not a published book. This is a self-published book.
Yep.
And it's printed by Spectro. But they helped us amazingly. I mean, you'll see it's got a brilliant cover. And, we worked out what we wanted on it. But they designed they worked out what paper and colour and the type and various things fit. So it makes it look beautiful, and it's been really, really well put together by Spectro, who are a local printer.
Absolutely.
The second thing that was tricky was editing. When you have a publisher, they do all the editing process. Well, printer's not an editor, but they lined us up with an editor. You do need an editor. I mean, I've been an English teacher all my life, and I can write accurately, but it doesn't matter. You still think you've said something, and someone else says, you actually don't say that.
Yeah.
So you need an editor to do that.
Sure.
And we lined up an editor. So hopefully there aren't too many mistakes in it, and there are a lot of corrections made.
They'll tell you if there are. I don't think they will, because you get so involved in reading this book, you don't look at that side of it.
Right.
You're just involved in the lovely story of Sir John and Lady Jackie, right throughout the book. So if anybody wants to buy this book, can they only get it through these openings and that?
No, there's a website, SirJohnTrimmer.com.
Sir John,
SirJohnTrimmer.com.
Yeah.
Which has been set up specially for the book. It's got the book on it, and that will tell you can pay by Visa, or you can make another arrangement through that website.
Excellent. Well, thank you very much for coming in.
If people need to be reminded of that, the Company News had an article on us, and at the bottom of that it's got that if you need, if you forget where it is.
Good.
Great.
Well, thanks for coming in, Sir John.
Thank you very much indeed.
And all the best with your launches.
Thank you.
And I hope you get better and you're ready to go again. What is your next event? Have you got one lined up?
I've got several gigs around the country, performances with the ballet company.
Right.
And also quite a few talking jobs to do around places.
Interesting man to listen to, folks, I can tell you. So if you get a chance, go along and listen to him. And pick up the book and learn all about him. In his younger days to his mature days, still dancing at the age of 79 in September. How's that? And you talk about athletes who retire at 30. They say, oh, he's due to retire at 30. Goodness gracious me, I've always thought that was ridiculous.
Over the hill.
Over the hill, that's it.
Good on you. Thanks, gentlemen.
Thank you.
There we are. Lovely interview with Sir John and Roger Booth, who's put this book together. And it's Why Dance?
106.3 Beach FM.